It's very hard for a woman to, you know, want to be with someone that's with Amber Rose. So she wasn't sending nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to take 30 showers before I got with Kim, you know?
You said if you had a son, you would not let him play football. What makes you think that he would want to play football? What if he was a nerd like you?
Do you think a woman like Michelle would marry a nerd? Why don't you ask her whether she thinks I'm a nerd?
Could I?
No, I'm not going to let her near you.
I want to thank President Obama for being on the show.
I'm going to press this.
Don't touch that, please. Thanks for the interview, and thanks for letting me shoot my show here all these years.
You've been shooting these shows here in the diplomatic room? Who gave you permission to do that?
Bush.
Seriously? Who gave him clearance?
What's the spider bite?
That's the other hand.
No, it's everywhere.
The rap world looks massive from the outside. Millions of fans, endless tours, different cities, different lifestyles. But once you zoom in, it starts feeling like the smallest circle on Earth. Because somehow, the same names keep overlapping, the same relationships keep repeating, and the same women end up linking together artists who don't even sound like they belong in the same universe. It's like hip-hop has its own secret dating network. And once you notice it, you can't unseen it. So today we're breaking down the wildest cases of rappers who all ended up connected through the same women. And trust me, some of these timelines get real uncomfortable. If there's one name that instantly defines interconnected celebrity romance, it's Amber Rose. Because her dating history isn't just a list, it's basically a roadmap of 2010s hip-hop culture. It really started with Kanye West. Back in 2008, Kanye was entering one of the most iconic creative eras of his entire career. 808s and Heartbreak had changed the sound of rap forever. And he was building toward what would become My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Amber wasn't just his girlfriend. She became part of the image, the fashion, the headlines, the obsession. Their relationship was intense, loud, and impossible to ignore. But when they split in 2010, that's when the real carousel started spinning. Because almost immediately after Kanye, Wiz Khalifa entered the picture. And this wasn't some quick fling. This became Amber's most serious relationship. They got engaged, married, had a son. For a minute, it looked like hip-hop had a rare, stable love story. But fame doesn't play fair. By 2014, it was over. And once Amber was back outside, the industry connections got even crazier. Machine Gun Kelly was linked to her in 2015. A short moment, but enough for blogs to explode. Then came the most surprising twist, 21 Savage. In 2017, the internet couldn't believe it. Amber and 21 felt like two completely different worlds. But that's what made it so fascinating. Kanye, Wiz, MGK, 21. 4 totally different artists, all connected through one woman. And Amber wasn't even the only one creating these overlaps. Because Rihanna's web might be even bigger. And what happened there fueled some of rap's most infamous tension. Rihanna isn't just a superstar, she's basically a cultural universe. And for over a decade, her dating life became one of the most watched storylines in music. The earliest chapter was Chris Brown. From 2007 to 2009, they were the industry's golden couple, until everything collapsed in a situation that turned into international headlines. It permanently changed how people viewed both of them. And even years later, that shadow never fully disappeared. But then came Drake. And Drake's connection to Rihanna wasn't just romance, it was obsession. From 2009 all the way to 2016, their relationship stayed in this strange limbo. Friends, collaborators, rumored lovers, always almost something. Fans treated it like a never-ending series. The peak came in 2016 when Drake stood on stage at the VMAs and basically confessed his love to the entire world. It felt like a movie, but just months later, it was done. Rihanna later admitted they weren't even friends anymore. And while Drake was still stuck on the what if, other names started circling too. Travis Scott was rumored to be connected to Rihanna around 2015. Spotted together, whispers everywhere, nothing confirmed, but enough to keep his name attached to her orbit. And then, a SAP Rocky, the one person who didn't feel like a rumor. Their friendship went back years, but by 2019, it turned real. And unlike the messy flings before, Rocky actually locked it down. 2 kids, a real family. The stability Drake never got. And for hip-hop fans, it was proof that the same circles keep recycling, until somebody finally claims the ending. But if Rihanna was the center of pop-rap romance, Nicki Minaj was the center of rap power relationships. And hers came with smoke. Dating in hip-hop is complicated. Dating when you're Nicki Minaj, that's something else entirely. Because every man she's been linked to walked away with a story. The longest was Safari. They were together for over a decade. Back before Nicki was Nicki. He was there during the grind, the come-up, the early mixtape days. But once she became a global icon, the relationship couldn't survive the imbalance. By 2014, it ended. And the aftermath was messy. Accusations, Twitter wars, public bitterness. Safari later admitted he felt less like a partner and more like an employee. Then came Meek Mill. This was peak power couple era. Nicki and Meek were everywhere. Fans thought marriage was coming, but the timing was chaotic. Because Meek was also locked in one of the biggest rap wars of the decade, his beef with Drake. And Nicki was caught in the middle of it all. By 2017, it was done. But even years later, the tension didn't fade quietly. Then there was Nas, a completely different vibe. Older, more measured, more low-key. Their romance was short, calm, and almost shockingly peaceful compared to the others. No public chaos, just 2 Queens legends crossing paths. Still, 3 major rappers, all tied into Nicki's world. And that's the thing about dating at the top. It's never just personal, it's political. But if you want the most awkward timeline of all, you have to enter the Kardashian-Jenner universe. Because Kylie's dating history created one of the strangest overlaps in modern rap. Kylie Jenner isn't a rapper, but her relationships might have caused more rap conversations than some albums. It started with Tyga, and from the jump, the situation was controversial. They met when Kylie was extremely young, and by the time they became official, people were already side-eyeing the entire thing. The age gap, the timing, the headlines, it never stopped feeling uncomfortable. Their relationship dragged on until 2017. And the second it ended, Travis Scott appeared. Almost instantly. Coachella, hand-holding, cameras everywhere. At first it looked like rebound territory, but then it became something bigger. A child. A family. Travis's rise into superstardom happening at the same time. Astroworld turned him into a giant, while Kylie turned their private life into constant tabloid fuel. Then came the rumors that made everything messy. Drake? Late 2019, whispers started spreading that Drake and Kylie were spending time together. Parties, flirting, unreleased lyrics that fans swore were about her. Nothing fully confirmed, but enough to create awkward tension. Because Drake wasn't just a random guy. He was connected to Travis. And in hip-hop, that kind of overlap always leads to silent rivalry. And that brings us to a relationship web that didn't stay silent at all. Because Kira and Future's fallout turned into one of the messiest public breakups ever. Kira's romantic history is like a timeline of hip-hop eras. First came Bow Wow, Young Love, early 2000s celebrity couple energy. Tabloids loved it, then rumors connected her to 50 Cent. Mostly industry whispers, never fully confirmed. But the real earthquake came with Future. By 2013, they were engaged. A child on the way. Fans thought it was a fairy tale, but by 2014, everything collapsed. Reports surfaced of Future creeping around. Kira called off the engagement, and what followed wasn't quiet heartbreak. It was public warfare. Subtweets, insults, custody drama. Future's comments reportedly cost Kiara opportunities, and she even filed a massive defamation lawsuit. It was one of the ugliest co-parenting situations hip-hop had ever seen. And it proved something important. These relationships aren't just gossip. They can turn into real-life chaos. But then there's one woman whose relationships created the opposite effect. Instead of destruction, people swear she created greatness. And her name is basically legendary. Erykah Badu isn't just neo-soul royalty, She's hip-hop mythology, because look at the list of men connected to her. Andre 3000. Their relationship in the late 90s was iconic. Outkast was in their prime, and their breakup inspired music that became timeless. Ms. Jackson wasn't just a hit, it was personal pain turned into art. Then came Common. Their romance was deeply emotional. He later described her as the kind of love that changes you. And even though it ended, the influence stayed. Then there was the DOC, a quieter chapter, but it added another layer to the Badu legacy. And finally, Jay Electronica, the most mysterious rapper of them all. Their connection became part of his myth. Fans started joking that Badu didn't just date rappers, she unlocked something in them, like a creative curse or a blessing. And maybe that's why her name stays legendary, but not every romance in these circles ends in jokes or inspiration. Some end in tragedy. And Ariana Grande's story is one of the darkest. Ariana Grande became a pop icon, but her relationships with rappers left deep marks. Big Sean was first. Their romance in 2014 felt light. Two stars enjoying the moment. They split peacefully. No chaos, no beef, just timing. But then came Mac Miller. And that relationship was different, deeper, more emotional. They had history going back years. By 2016, they were serious. Fans saw Ariana as a grounding presence for Mac, someone who brought stability. But life doesn't always follow the script. They split in 2018, and just months later, Mac passed away from an accidental OD. The loss shook the entire music world. Ariana's grief became public, and suddenly, celebrity romance didn't feel like gossip anymore. It felt real and heavy, and it reminded everyone, behind the headlines, these are still human stories. But even after all these iconic connections, hip-hop's dating web keeps expanding, because the modern era might be even more tangled. Today, names like Ruby Rose and India Love have created new overlaps. Ruby has been linked to Cardi, Travis, 21 Savage, and suddenly the connections start looping back to the beginning. India Love, her name has been tied to Drake, Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, all in the same orbit. And that's when you realize, this isn't random. Hip-hop at the top is a small ecosystem. Same parties, same circles, same industry events, the same relationships recycling through the same group of people. It's like musical chairs, but with emotions, fame, and millions watching. The rap world sells this image of endless options, endless freedom, endless new faces. But the deeper you look, the smaller it feels. Because the same women connect completely different rappers. The same love stories fuel the same beefs. And every breakup becomes either a lyric, or a headline, or a moment fans never forget. So the real question is hip-hop dating actually about love? Or is it just another part of the industry machine? A loop that never really ends? Because the next connection is probably already happening right now.